Bonjour. Bruno and Daniel here, podcasting directly from San Antonio, Texas at ACBCS. We're going to talk about how a platform, LARVOL Clean, can have a big impact in preparing, attending, and even recapping after the conference, all the data presented, as well as the commentary from 6,000 oncologists and opinion leaders. Daniel, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. There's been a long couple conferences. I gotta tell you that. Very productive, very good. SABCS seems a little bit more tame. I think because of the amount of breast data that was released at ESMO. That's general sentiment that I'm getting from people on the floor here as well. But fun to be here. Last conference of the year, if I'm not wrong.
Pause. Yes. One thing that came to my mind, and then we'll get to the data. Yeah, let's show that we'll get to the data in a second, and Daniel will walk us through the top data presented, ranked based on the level of buzz that the data had. So we're the only company, as far as we know, who have a quantitative way of showing what is the most impactful data at SABCS. We're going to walk you through it in a second, and give us a comment, connect with us, and we can give you a free evaluation access to our platform. Before that, I want to say something a little bit more personal, which is that I found in this conference a particular connection with the ultimate beneficiary of everything we do, which is a patient. And there was a video on the booth of Pfizer that described ultimately the situation of patients and caregivers and cancer in general. And it was called One More. One more day, one more opportunity to eat your favorite food, one more opportunity to hug your loved one. And the way I describe it doesn't sound justice to the video. That video, I thought, was the best video I've seen on cancer in terms of the emotion, the feeling, the challenges, the human aspect of cancer. And I don't usually say that about commercial video. It's a video generated by Pfizer, right? Actually, I put it on my Instagram. I'll try to take a better video of the video later. And I thought it was beautiful because it showed that even in the moments of human drama, the moment when a patient is confronted with a bad news, for example, or has to go through one more challenge, or has to find a way to enjoy life knowing that maybe there's not so many Christmas left, for example. I found that it really captured that humanity in a beautiful way. So I wanted to say that. Now, we data people, but we have to remember behind the data, there are people. And behind the data, there are also a lot of human suffering in our field. So I'm going to go on mute. Daniel, give us a walk on LARVOL Clean, and in particular, our ability to track the top data at SABCS.
So what you're seeing right now is the conferences tab on Flint, right? And we're inside SABCS, and we're in the detailed view of top trials by expo. So what you're seeing is a list of all the trials ranked by two things, right? So the vertical axis is the number of views that trial has had, and then the horizontal one is the number of posts. So they don't usually correlate, which is why you see right farther down the line, you have a trial with more posts but less views. But it's general idea for what you're seeing. And then the colors in there correspond to sentiment. So we rank commentary from 6,000 oncologists on X, and we rank that sentiment of what they're saying, right? Is it a practice changing mention on a tweet? Is it positive? If it's neutral, is it unranked and they're just mentioning it or reposting it? Or is it a negative comment, right? Something to do with toxicity, something to do with something along the lines of that, right? Maybe the reimbursement cost is too high. Maybe access isn't that easy, or maybe the population is way too scarce. So this is what we're ranking over here, and this gives you a really good overview of what people think about the data that is being released at the conference. It's updated as close to live as we can, so by the end of the day, you're going to get a picture of what was said that day when the data was released, and we will keep updating it when the time comes and expands. So you can log into Clin at any point and see this data as close to live as we can. You can get general sentiment for your trial. You can get general sentiment for your competitors' trials, your competitors' drugs. You can also see who's saying what. So if you go back to the main page, you can see we have different dashboards for analytics. So you can rank the commentary by KOL. You can rank the commentary by MOA. You can rank the commentary by whatever you want, really. And it really is a one-stop shop dashboard to understand what people are saying about the data that you released or your competitors released.
Can you go to the top 3 trials out of SCBCS and walk us through what we can tell from the LARVOL data and the again the extracted sentiment of these three trials. Of course, everybody here has heard about the 3 readout, the 3 data release. Try to add your own color to it for our audience, please, Daniel.
So let me try and zoom in here. My screen is very small, and I haven't seen really what the schedule is here, but we can see that the main trial is lidERA, right? If we zoom out, so I can get a better view of the whole graph. Mainly positive comments and remarks about it. A lot of practice-changing ones. Why don't we click on the practice-changing, right, impact and strongly positive ones and see what they say and who's saying what. So hats off to Roche for that good success there. So there we go. Strongest collections of practice-changing data we've seen in years. Finally, the trial results are out, and it's a new standard treatment. People seem really excited that this might actually change the way they are treating this particular, what is it, HER2 positive? Yeah.
There is a feature I want to draw attention to, and it's the purple tab at the top left. So that purple tab leads to a clinical trial 360 page. Think about it as a Wikipedia page for that trial. And it's a very popular page. I was talking earlier with Dr. Tarantino, who's one of the top, of course, voices, a very famous person. And he said that one thing he really likes about CLIN is the fact that if you Google, by the way, you find CLIN often, and you find a collection of these data tables and these data graph at the very top of the search results. And so this is a Wikipedia page. This is a 360-degree page for that clinical trial. See not only the list of publication, if you scroll down, you can go back to the earliest poster on that clinical trial. You have the press release, you have the manuscript, you have all of the presentations of data over time. So you got a longitudinal picture of that trial. You can click on it and get the you can get the actual data. But on top of that, you have also all the commentary from the 6,000 oncologists. That's the second tab, the ex post, and a few analytics about giving the overall lay of the land, how much positive, negative, neutral. You can click on it and navigate the data that way also. And so that's a very important part of CLIN as well. So you can see the top influencers, the top KOL that have commented on that trial. You can see on the right the timing of their comments. So of course that coincides with the big conferences, because that's where in our industry the data is released. You can see the top mention. So that's actually an interesting feature as well. Often when oncologists talk about a trial, they will mention another oncologist. And who they mention is interesting, because who they mention is either the principal investigator or primary author of that study, or they are people who have an important voice or an important role for that study. So that gives you an idea of all of this. Okay, back to you, Daniel.
I had my phone on the floor there. We got a very important email that I need to deal with right now.
Oh, multitasking. I've got something to say. I thought you were. I heard the little clap, clap, clap. I didn't do on purpose to ask you to call you on the spot. But I tell, by the way, for the audience, I tell my team never do two things at the same time. Minimum three. So Daniel did exactly what I expect him to do, which is multitasking. This podcast is a joy to do, and thank you, Shahir, for organizing. But this is not our day job. It doesn't pay the bill. So when a, when a pharmaceutical and hello Ali. So when a pharmaceutical company sends Daniel an email, he jumps on it, even in the middle of a podcast, and he should. That's correct. That's our dedication to our
I
customers.
need to pay the bills right now. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But so I think that that's actually already a good demo. It gives hopefully the audience an idea of what we do. So if you are interested in piloting, testing, accessing this platform, or talking with us in general, leave a message, connect with us, subscribe to our channel. We always appreciate that as well. And
or email
we'll
me
be
while we're live.
Oh, that's it. And you know that Daniel is going to respond on the spot. It doesn't matter. It might be cooking, it might be on a podcast. It doesn't matter. That's dedication we have. He will answer on the spot. And obviously, each time you see some purple out there, you should consider that perhaps it's me. So thank you very much, Danielle. Thank you, Shahir, for organizing. And we will see you next week for another edition of the Onco podcast, sponsored by LARVOL. Thank you, and au revoir.